Good afternoon to everyone watching the Bulletin. I caught up with Ciska Jordaan. She's the Caucus Leader for the DA here in Govan Mbeki, to ask her about the report. And I have the report here. It's been flying around from about everybody. It was supposed to be secret, and everybody's shared this report everywhere that it shouldn't be. It's a final report on the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs investigation in terms of Section 106, 1B of the Local Government Municipal Systems Act 32 of 2000. Good afternoon, Ciska.
Good afternoon, Nancy.
And thank you for your time.
No problem.
Your first initial response on this report. I know we had a council meeting today. What happened?
Well, I mean, this report is having quite damning findings against a number of administrative officials and political office bearers within the municipality. We had our council meeting to consider the report today, following a special council meeting on the 6th of October, where the MEC of Cogta in the province actually gave us a presentation of the summarized version of the report. Now, you might remember that this report is actually based on 15 terms of reference, including that the investigative team was guided by, including investigations on nepotism, maladministration, corruption in general, fraud, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So today we had our council meeting to consider the report. It has been adopted by the council with a number of recommendations within the report that's coming from the investigators. But as the DA, we actually proposed in the council meeting that the political office bearers, which includes the executive mayor, that are implicated in the report actually be suspended with immediate effect, and this proposal was unfortunately outvoted with the ANC majority.
There's you mentioned the executive mayor. She's been embattled for quite a while now because it just seems like the worms just keep on coming out of the tin, if I can call it that. But the executive summary actually points them out, and we're not going to name all the names. It's not fair, I think, to everybody to name all the names because there's some officials as well. Mm-hmm. But it's quite clear that the code of conduct for councillors has been contravened if we read through this report. And what I have seen is that there's more than one councillor that's actually either been implicated in political interference or has been implicated in receiving a benefit. Is that true?
Yes, and it's quite appalling. This is not the first report that we've received, even in the last 2 months, indicating that there's political interference into administrative matters of the municipality. That is, I mean, in plain terms, it's corruption, it's high-level corruption.
And there's a code of conduct. Sorry that I interrupt.
Yes, it contravenes the code of conduct of councillors and of municipal officials.
Now, in the article that goes with that we're going to place with us, I've actually mentioned the code of conduct, so you can read the code of conduct, the applicable areas that speaks to councillors' conduct. Mm-hmm. But there's a few other ones that I just want to touch on because it is actually quite scared. The one is the appointment of the CFO. Now, the CFO in the past have been suspended, and it's came back due to various reasons, and now it's been suspended again. Mm-hmm. But this report specifically speaks about the appointment of the CFO. And I know that as you as the opposition had a big fight regarding the appointment at that stage. What's your thoughts on that one?
Well, it is, as you say, the DA, along with actually the other opposition parties in the council, have highlighted years ago when the CFO was appointed several irregularities with his appointment, specifically related to his qualifications and competency to be able to do this job. And at that stage we'd actually opposed, obviously, that he be appointed. We vehemently opposed it, but unfortunately it's the same thing. It was pushed through with an ANC majority, and since then I think it's no surprise to anyone that our municipality's finances had really just deteriorated. I'm not saying it's just the fault of the CFO, but being the head of the finance department, and that would have been his responsibility to
but
improve.
that was also done against the Act. The Act is quite specific on what they should do and what they shouldn't do, and the majority decided to go against the Act.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
In this report, I'm just going to add one or two extras. There's two areas that I want to speak to as service providers, and there's some damning reports on service providers and people receiving benefits from certain service providers and getting payments when job wasn't done and those type of things as well. Your thoughts on that one?
Well, concerningly, as you say, this report indicates that there are departments within the municipality which are actually corrupt to the core. There are a couple of officials and workers within these departments, specifically finance and the technical department, that we've seen actually work very hard to do, to stretch what resources they have very far. But unfortunately, these departments are the ones that are the backbone of service delivery and the functioning of the municipality. And it's very concerning to see that several people who were investigated actually had expressed fear for their own lives just to whistleblow, maybe some colleagues or political office bearers, which are implicated in the report as well.
That fear has been implicated a few times. Mentioned
yes.
A few times in the report. Sorry.
Yes, yeah. And this is often how corruption takes place. It usually takes place within supply chain processes and with shoddy contractors, and that's why you can see all over our municipality unfinished projects or irregular appointments or just poor quality services.
I read on one of the, when you say now supply chain management, I want to do this one on litigation cases, and this has got to do with the project management and contract management. Mm-hmm. It says there have been numerous litigation cases instituted by service providers as a result of non-payment of invoices for services rendered, which stem from the contract signed between the service providers and the municipality. Now, this is basically that the contract weren't done or correctly, or not managed correctly, or extended when it shouldn't be, and so on. But I just want to point out the one fact here. It says the current claims against the municipality currently stands at 99,238,541 rand and 90 cents, which is only contract based. This is not for members claiming for potholes and stuff like that. That is a huge amount of money that contractors that we are losing, especially when we have the Eskom problem.
Absolutely, and I think that especially related to contracts, it's no secret that we know the municipality is often not paying the refuse removal, or the refuse site. They are often not paying mechanics for taking care of the municipal fleet. That is a common occurrence, and then at the same time, what you've mentioned just now is actually what's called irregular, fruitless and wasteful expenditure. And our municipality has actually a year ago been, I don't know how you can say assessed. They've been assessed by Parliament as being one in the top 10 of municipalities in the country with their irregular and fruitless and wasteful expenditure. So a surprising finding, and it is a huge amount of money, which continuously adds to the financial crippledness of the municipality to be able to deliver services to its residents.
I want to end off, because we can keep on with this for about half an hour, just starting on the first section. But there's an area here that says payment of services and service providers. And again, what has happened is that they've highlighted the fact that certain companies are linked to each other. They use that 3-quote system where they fabricate 2 quotes. Sometimes when they pay, the invoices come with the description of the one company on the other one. And then one of our councillors, or 2 of our councillors, were actually specifically implicated. And then the recommendation comes from the I'm just trying to find it quickly. I don't know where it is now. From the investigators that the Hawks be involved in this as well, and you support that.
Yes, 100%. I mean, whoever is guilty in wrongdoing, they should be prosecuted according to the law. If they are not guilty, then, you know, I'm sure that kind of investigation will exonerate them. I definitely think, as a DA, we've proposed today as well that we ensure that these all the officials and all the political office bearers mentioned in this report actually be referred to the relevant authorities. This is not anymore a situation that the council can self-correct, and unfortunately it seems to be that the ANC has an inclination to think that that's what they are able to do. There are rumors that this report will simply be referred to a disciplinary committee within the municipality, which is, I mean, just the pot calling the kettle black. It's not going to help. This report definitely needs to be referred to the authorities for a proper investigation and for criminal proceedings to take place.
On that high note, on that actually very serious note, let's end there. Thank you very much for speaking to me. I know that you are doing canvassing. On the 11th of November, we have a by-election here in Ward 30.
Yes.
And I know canvassing is going crazy at the moment.
Yes, yeah.
All right. So I've taken you out of that. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Thank you for watching the Bulletin.